Welcome to Diversification TV. 2014 has been a volatile year for all economies. So what's going to happen now and in the future? Joining us is François Savary from REYL Bank. Welcome.
Thank you.
So as we're coming to the end of 2014, what do you think were the main market movers?
I would say that we remain in an environment in which liquidity is very important, and the fact that central bankers are very active have supported risky assets in 2014, mainly equities, bonds, and something which was a surprise, the US dollar. When you look at the performance of different assets in 2014, at the end of the day, to believe in the US dollar appreciation was a strong bet that was very rewarding since the end of May, when the dollar has reached a top against the euro. So risky assets and the US dollar would be the focus, to my opinion, when you look back into 2014.
And as we continue to see negative figures across the Eurozone, can 2015 be any better?
That's the big question for Europe. Europe is still the very sick man of the world economy, and I believe that there is no reason why it should change in 2015. Nevertheless, I think that we will have some improvement in economic activity in Europe. It will be very dependent on the action by the ECB. Everybody is speaking about the traditional QE by the European Central Bank. I'm not sure that they are going to do that, but at least they are going to stay very active and do everything they can to promote economic activity, a little stronger economic activity in the course of the next few quarters.
Well, talking about quantitative easing, the ECB keeps pushing it back. Do you think that they are actually going to start it?
I am doubtful that they are going to start it, but I must say that over the last few weeks I've changed a little bit my mind. I would have said that there was a high probability that it would never happen, but the speech of Mr. Draghi in the course of the last few weeks seems to indicate that there is more and more a case in favor of doing a traditional QE. So I would say that it's a 50-50% bet for 2015, depending on how inflation is going to move. I believe that they could act, but for the time being, this is not the main scenario I have in my mind.
And finally, do investors need to diversify to stay buoyant throughout the next year?
Very good question, I would say. Does it mean that you need to get out of equities? Equities have been a very strong assets in the course of the last 5 years. I believe that equities are going to continue to move higher, but nevertheless, maybe the US equity is not the asset that you want to keep in your allocation. Maybe people need to think about diversifying their equity exposure into European equities, which performed poorly in the course of the last 12 months, or maybe to go to Asia. I believe that this is a key question. Do you want to diversify your equity allocation in regional term, not so much to reduce your equity allocation if you are happy with the level of equities you have in your portfolio? So I believe that yes, there is a call for diversification in your equity allocation.
Would you say to people be a little bit risky?
I think equities are always risky. You know, you need to be aware of the risk. If currently you are in a position in your portfolio where you don't hold a lot of equities, I don't think that it's time for you to increase your equity allocation. The equity market have performed very, very well in the course of the last few years. I believe that for you, the big question is, do I want to keep a lot of US equities, or do I want to reduce my equity exposure and go somewhere else? I believe that you could defend the case that European equities are attractive. If the ECB is going to continue to be very active in terms of liquidity injection, I believe that it's going to support European equities in the course of the next few months.
Thank you so much for coming in today.
You're welcome.
Well, that's all we have time for here at Diversification TV. Make sure you keep checking back. Goodbye.